Okay, moving on to Jimin's solo at the One concert for Black Swan. This one actually has a lot of the same moves from the MV shoot. So he definitely like adapted similar bits of choreo for both and used for them for both instances. But there's definitely differences as well. And he starts, with that again, that exhausted feeling and just like weighed down by gravity. He's about to fall to this knee. Let's go. And that move should be familiar if you've watched his pre-debut contemporary piece where he brings his legs around his head, showing off that flexibility. I really think of gravity when I see this piece because he plays with it so much, that heaviness, like I'm fighting against this unseen force to lift myself up, but then it crushes me again. He does that so well. He plays with those unseen forces, and even later it's like he's being whipped around by the wind or something like that, or he's underwater. He just adds so much tension to his movements, and he uses a lot of floor work in this, which is really indicative of kind of the modern side of contemporary dance. Ballet goes down here and there, but is generally a more upright form of dance. But modern kind of broke those rules and used a lot of floor work, and that came over to contemporary as well. And then light as a feather. Like, what gravity? And here's that kind of violin move again before he goes into the light foot sequence. Head snap. And it's interesting, like, it's a different effect in this one because the music's different than what they use for the MV and for that solo shoot, right? This is the more orchestral version. So it is more of these, like, sad violin strings and things, and the head snap looks sharper in the other version where there was a snare beat on that, so it still has an effect here, but it's a different one. There it is. And that sequence, he took more of a breath there than he did in the solo version. I think like the music's a bit slower too, so he's able to slow this sequence down a bit more. Look at that height. Holy crap. He has some of the most incredible jump height I've ever seen. He's got like springs in his legs. He just launches himself, and he's also able to like tuck up his feet. Most of us, I think, keep our feet in a place where we can land on them, right? But he doesn't have that fear. He brings them up, and he knows he'll get them down in time. So he just ends up looking like he's flying. Then he takes a little breath and then does the rond de jambe. I love this move. This kind of going crazy. Fingers climbing up and then in your hair. And it's like he's fighting the madness of the Black Swan, right? That's the whole theme. So I love that representation in this dance, that he's fighting something unseen. There are forces. There's even something in his mind. There's something trying to take him over. It is the Black Swan. And whipped again to the floor. I love that sequence too, that kind of almost like a tracing, like his hand is going where his leg is going, as if they're either joined or one is controlling the other, because they whip at the same time, and brings them to the floor. It's a great transition. And there's kind of like flat-footed shennies. Let's kick up. And I love this too. The unfurling of the wings. Like, is that not so visual? Like, you know exactly what that is. But it really takes, you know, extra arm movements or flexibility to really kind of sell that. And I love, like, it's almost jerky too. It's like they're out of his control kind of thing. Just as a casual aerial there. No biggie. One of his signatures, of course. Oh, but he really does it so flawlessly. He needs like no buildup at this point. And this gets a little more chaotic. Yeah, oh, all right. I believe it was slightly different, that sequence, from one night to the next, because it was more of a freestyle at that point. I'm going out of control, the Black Swan's taking over me, and he would just play with the music in any way. Okay, so that was the one solo. Okay. So I think this is the last Black Swan performance that I can react to. We've done group, solo MV, solo one concert, and now this is the Mama performance, the duet that he does with Jungkook. I love the orchestral version, and when they brought in all these dancers, oh boy. Oh, look at those. They found some professional dancers. That was a nice trust catch there. Jungkook had to jump into their arms and just, they're gonna catch me. They better. Your jump. This part, oh my gosh, how satisfying is that? That is so satisfying. When I saw that for the first time, I was like, it's so clean and so well timed, and they have to get straight to the floor. Like, they go really fast. Now imagine if they did the army bomb wave. Flawless. They would have no hiccups. Okay, Jimin's coming. Oh, another, trust. They don't show us how he got into that. Maybe they just grabbed his ankles and then pulled him back. Or he jumped and they caught him. And the lifting, we've kind of mentioned this before, but when it comes to something like hoisting someone up for a jump, like in cheerleading or something like that, or even just here you're lifting, the people lifting him on either side, they have to be perfectly coordinated. They have to use the same amount of force and lift. It'd be even best if they're the same height, so that they can hold him in exactly the same place. Because otherwise he's going to be off kilter, right? Of no fault of his own, because it's all reliant on who's holding him. So it's really a team effort to get that kind of perfect movement coming forward here. But he does have to hold himself. He has to keep his arms tense. That's person lifting has to do work too. Or sorry, the person being lifted has to do work too. I think any figure skater could attest to that as well. And he comes forward. And then Jungkook comes out of nowhere. It's such a beautiful sequence. Like, where to begin? I have broken this down before, so if you do want to see the thread for that, go to Twitter. So first they do this spin on the floor, on the water. So water would probably help a little bit here in terms of like giving you less friction, turning on your butt. But water in general is not really your friend when dancing. So it's difficult to do. And I believe they had behind the scenes for this. And like Jimin had to change his shoes because it was too slippery in the water. So he gets up and then he does this kick over Jungkook. Totally straight leg there. And then this timing is really tricky. And in the behind the scenes, we see them like not quite get the timing. I think the first time they did it or in practice. And I think Jungkook's shoulder came up too soon or Jimin wasn't turned around quite in time. And so it was a bit more of an awkward, like his leg ended up on his shoulder instead, something like that. So that's like a testament to how precise you need to be with this timing, how much they must have practiced to get it like perfect. What Jimin does here is kind of like a fouette into attitude. Fouette is kind of like to whip, so you can bring your leg up and then you change position on your standing leg. So he's whipping this up and then he's going to turn around to face the other way while keeping this leg kind of under him. So you see that turn there, and now he's positioned this way and he's brought the leg into attitude, which is I can't do it with my arm, but it's a bent leg behind you. And so now he's in position for Jungkook to get his arm under the bent leg and around his waist and lift him up. And this is just gorgeous. And then he brings this foot up. Like I said, you got to do work. If he was floppy with this leg, it would just be hanging here. It would not be that great. And likewise, his upper body is doing lots of work too. And his back leg still has to keep that kind of nice arched line. So lots of work being done by both of them, even to the tips of his fingers, as always. So nice of them to slow-mo this for us. What I also love about this turn is that they change it halfway through. Or Jimin really, he changes his position, right? He gets his arm on Jungkook's arm, and then he's able to lean and reach out behind him, right? So his arm was up here, and then it comes down. He was more, arched behind, and then it's more of a settled back look. And then down, and then he goes for the cartwheel over him. And then a lift up. And then the other members come out. All dancing in the water. Jumping in the water. Bold. Also, they must have had maybe extra layers or something, because we all know white with water, hard to stay opaque. But now they're in black, ready to and creating these beautiful tableaus. Just gorgeous. And I did think of one more sequence we could watch, just from the tour. Try this. I don't know. Might not show enough since it's just focused on Jimin. These dancers, though, with the feathered arms, that was a brilliant stylistic choice. Like, oh, did it ever add to the effect of the Black Swan. To be honest, controversial opinion, I'm not that much of a fan of the suits. Well, like the suit jacket here, I am appreciative, very appreciative of what it shows to us. But like a piece like this is all about the lines, is all about showing the gorgeous extensions. And suit jackets, they're too like structured and bulky. They ride up, they bunch up. I would love a more streamlined top, or something with flowy sleeves that really accentuate the beauty of the Black Swan and such. A structured suit jacket, it was not what dancers were meant to wear to show off their body to best ability and to show off the moves the best. So that's just my little take, but I would have loved something else, I think. But that's okay. We definitely got gifts. Oh, the arms. And the way they kind of hide behind, like you don't see anything when they show us like the concert camera. We see it now because it's very focused, but look how they have to just like scuttle to stay hidden. So well done. So precisely timed and choreographed. I wish we were seeing like the actual concert camp, but this is also a unique view, right? This part is so cool when you see it like full. I do love Tay's pants. Those pants, fantastic. Love it. How do I get him to wear those all the time? And Jungkook's boots, fantastic. Okay. I think that's all we're really going to get out of this. So I wish I could see all of the dancers full on, but I wasn't able to find that footage. Okay, I found the one other clip. And this fan cam is from my lover Jimin. So just to shout them out. But this was the moment where he does the cartwheel on stage. Look how extra he got. That was way bigger than before. And it's a one-handed cartwheel. Yeah. Anyway, fantastic. Thank you so much for tuning in for my Black Swan reactions. And please do let me know what you'd like me to react to next. And I'll see you next time. Bye.